Today, I'm tasting the difference between pasteurized milk and farm fresh raw milk. What's the difference between the two? Pasteurized milk is force heated to a high temperature, which sterilizes the milk. Raw milk is simply milk that hasn't been pasteurized. Raw milk on paper has far more nutritional benefits than pasteurized milk. Some people think raw milk is unsafe to drink because of the potential for bacteria to infect the milk. Truth is, there is more recorded deaths from people drinking contaminated pasteurized milk than there have been from people who have drank raw milk. Let's just taste the difference. The pasteurized milk I'll be drinking is low-fat, non-homogenized milk from Ozark Mountain Creamery. In my opinion, this is the closest thing to raw milk that you can buy in the stores. This is raw milk from a farmer friend of mine that I pick up every week for myself. You'll notice that the raw milk has a cream line. That's because it's not been homogenized. Homogenization is the process of forcing the milk through a very small opening, which effectively breaks the fat globules in the milk apart so that you get a uniform product without a cream separation. This milk has not been homogenized, so it does have a cream line as well, just like raw milk, but most milks you'll find in the store won't have that. Let's start with the pasteurized. That's pretty good. I haven't had pasteurized milk in a while. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I can't say too much without trying something else, so let's try the raw. Okay, bottoms up. Okay, so the main difference that I taste between the raw and the pasteurized is the creaminess. The raw has a almost sweet creaminess, kind of like a milkshake, whereas this is creamy and it tastes good, but it's just not the same. It feels like it's missing something. Like it almost just feels like it would be like maybe like 2% or something. Let's do like a side by side. If I taste these side by side, like this feels like it has like water. Like it's just not it doesn't have the body of the raw milk. If you're curious about where to find raw milk, I recommend you type into the Google search bar raw milk near me, and an excellent website called, I believe, Raw Milk Finder will come up, and you'll be able to put in your zip code or your city, and all of the farms nearby that offer raw milk will come up. You can contact those farms and usually get yourself raw milk fairly quickly. I started drinking raw milk about 2 years ago after being vegan for a number of years. I felt like I really needed something more for my body. And I remember the first time I drank raw milk, it was like shivers of joy and a very life-transforming experience. I had just not had milk in years. And after tasting raw milk, I really made it a staple in my diet. That being said, I really highly recommend Ozark Mountain Creamery. We stock Ozark Mountain Creamery in the co-op. This milk, like I said, is the best that I think you can find and the closest thing to raw milk available in the stores. It's low-fat pasteurized, which is the lowest form of pasteurization that's legally allowed, and it's not homogenized. One of the biggest things for me deciding where I want to get something is seeing where it comes from. So in the case of milk, I want to know that the cows that I'm drinking milk from are feeding on lush, rich green pastures and being fed minimal amounts of any other feed, because cows didn't grow up on grain, they grew up on grass. That's what they've evolved to eat. And so feeding them anything else is not necessarily what they're even designed to digest. So I really recommend looking into the sourcing if you're an individual who cares about what your family is eating and what you're putting in your body and you're drinking milk. Look into the sourcing. You don't have to have pasteurized or raw milk, but just being conscious that whatever it is that you're putting in your body, where it comes from doesn't matter. One extra cool fact about raw milk is that it's also probiotic. So drinking raw milk replenishes your probiotics, whereas pasteurized milk doesn't necessarily feed them anything because it's not a living product. It's been pasteurized and brought to above the boiling point so that there is nothing in here that is alive. But in here, there is millions of microbes which work really well with your microbiome. You know, a lot of people might say that they're lactose intolerant and they get a lot of gas after they drink milk. But truth is there's an enzyme in milk called lactase that breaks down lactose. But that enzyme lactase is heat sensitive. So when you heat it up in pasteurization, it goes bye-bye. And then The very thing in the milk that helps break itself down no longer can do its job. But in raw milk, that enzyme is perfectly intact. So you can drink as much milk and eat as many ice cream sundaes as you desire, and your butt won't be on fire.